Bama takes on Auburn. It's Iron Bowl week, and this one's big. You guys already know that. Bama's got to win to make the SEC championship game. They need to win to make the college football playoff. Anything that they had set out in their mind goes through Auburn. We're going to talk about that. Show's brought to you by Pearl River Resort, Philadelphia, Mississippi. The Azaleas, the Oaks, two amazing golf courses at Dancing Rabbit. And it's the Augusta you can play. Hour and a half from Tuscaloosa, 2 and change from Birmingham. All right, there he is, Mike Johnson. I'm Mick Gillespie. Let's go. All right, guys, what's up? Mike, I know you're a big concert guy, and I want to tell you about this concert before we get going because you got the holidays coming, Lita Ford, Dee Snider from Twisted Sister, Firehouse. I think these are all bands that Randy would probably like, the Big Unit, your dad.
No doubt.
Rocker.
Speaking of the Big Unit, he's going to be with us Friday, I believe. So.
Oh, yeah. The graphic person needs to remove Coker and put you on this graphic, but we're going to be at the Floor Bama on Friday. I can't wait, dude. It's like old times again. Biggest show of the year. Here you come in.
I know. Look, I mean, I got a lot of people in my corner down there, as you know. I'm a Pensacola native. Parents live near Perdido, and yeah, man, I've been promised by a lot of people that they're going to swing through. I mean, Doug Cooper, our buddy, the Bengal clan. My
breaking news Bengal
kids will possibly stop by depending on what's going on with them and my dad. So yeah, man, ought to be a good time.
Well, we're gonna be there. We're actually gonna be on the stage, the tent stage in the back. We're gonna be hanging out there talking Bama football, watching the rivalry games.
Yeah,
and that's gonna be tough because the show. Let me just say, it's gonna be tough because we record the show for Saturday, which means that you can't talk about anything that happened Friday.
It's going to be a challenge for me. I'm going to be like, oh, then it's oh, did you see that? Whatever game is on Saturday that's going on. So yeah, I mean, it's gonna be a lot of fun, man. You're right. Obviously, the Floor Bama is home for me in a lot of different ways, and I'm excited to get back down there. I mean, I'm looking at that opening intro you just played, and I'm like, man, we really had 10 years ago, we had really good hair, both of us, and I know that now we're a little bit more hat adjacent. You know what I mean? It's that the golden arches going on a little bit more for both of us. Man.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I got gray in my hair.
Oh, dude, my beard is so gray. I don't know if you can tell on the camera, but my beard is coming in hot. I'm just feeling old. These days.
You see the open, and it's like, man, these guys have done a lot of shows together.
Yeah, and we have.
Yeah. All right. Well, look, dude, let's talk about this game. What do you think? Bama, Auburn, down on the plains. This game now, I mean, it's do or die for Alabama. Because if you lose, you're not making the college football playoff. Everybody's going to hate Kalen DeBoer. There's going to be a bunch of heat. I mean,
that's what I can't decide. And we'll get to the X's and O's in a minute. But the biggest question for me that I've been asked, and obviously I like Bam this game. I know that there's some excitement around Deuce Night and some of the things going on with Auburn. But somebody asked me the other day if Kalen DeBoer with a loss in this game, does he flush down all the goodwill that he has built with this program throughout the season with the Georgia win and the 4 straight ranked victories? We have a bad taste in our mouth about Oklahoma, but a lot of people still remember Florida State. And it's like, would you just do away with all the goodwill you've built up and some big victories this year if you can't handle business down there on the plains?
Yeah, you would. Because it would be 2 straight years that things fell apart. I know the team would be 9-3, but it's 9-3 is not good enough again. You're outside looking in. I hope that doesn't happen. I think they're going to win. I really do.
Me too. But weird things happen down there, as you and I both know, and have seen in person happen down there. It's the thought of it makes me sick to my stomach. But you know what? But you know what also made me sick to my stomach though. And here's what I'll say. This is what I keep coming back to. Being at the Iron Bowl last year, I was there with my kids, my wife. We were sitting in the North Zone, and it didn't feel like it meant anything. Like that game, so many times over the last 15 years has meant everything. Longer than that, has meant everything on a national scene. And to be there last year and had that kind of bloated playoff feeling and the Texas, Oklahoma added to the SEC feeling and not feel like the Iron Bowl meant as much was not good. So I am glad that there's a lot of pressure on this game coming up this Saturday, because I hated being in person last year and just being like, oh, that's good. We beat Auburn. Okay. Like big rivalry game. I'm glad that happened. But
yeah.
And there was still that feeling like that a 3-loss Bama could get in, but I never felt like that was going to happen. I felt like we'd kind of missed our mark. And so, being there last year and seeing all that play out, I'm glad that there's a lot on the line, and hopefully the players are preparing like there's a lot on the line this weekend, because they should be.
Yeah. Well, you guys in 2009, you had a really tough game down there,
dude.
And it was same thing. Like, it was kind of like this mediocre, but got talent Auburn team. And then you got are playing for a chance to go to the SEC championship game.
Dude, when I got in, yeah, you're right. So that was the Roy Upchurch game. Roy Upchurch scores the winning touchdown on a power pass, from Greg McElroy. I actually was a pooler out in front of, I think I've told you this story before, but I was actually a pooler out in front of Greg. Like, I pulled like we were running power, and then I kind of leaked out in the flat with Greg. It's kind of like a personal protector almost. And he throws the ball. I look back at Greg, and he throws the ball to Roy. I got a bone to pick with your guy, Daniel Moore, man, over that whole ordeal. Have we talked about this?
You got cut out of the picture.
Dude, I got cut out. I got replaced in the photo. I got freaking replaced in that Daniel Moore by, and I love the guy to death. I got replaced by Colin Peak. I was a little bit irate about that whole situation. I couldn't even be upset. I couldn't even be upset because it's right behind your head. I'm in the Daniel Moore for the national title game. But like, I don't know. Like, every time I look at that Daniel Moore of that Roy Upchurch touchdown, it makes me sick, because I'm the guy standing in front of Greg in real life, and in the painting, it's Colin Peak. Colin Peak's on like the backside of the play, like he's not even close to Greg in the actual play. But yeah, man, that was a big win. I actually, if anybody remembers that game, so like Mark was kind of winning in the Heisman category, kind of wasn't. It's still, I believe, the closest vote in Heisman history. And when I started my career in radio, we had Ted Ruffin, who was the D coordinator at Georgia Tech at the time. And I brought that game up to him. I was like, dude, I was playing on that offensive line at Bama when you were the DC in 2009. And he was like, man, that was one of my favorite games. And he said, I told our defense that day that I didn't care if we lost by 40, that no matter what happened, Mark Ingram was not winning the Heisman Trophy that day in Auburn. He was like, I don't care if we had to put 15 guys in the box and not cover the wide receivers. He was like, I don't care. I'll just take the chance that they drop the football, but we are going to stop the run. And credit to him, they absolutely did. They played bare front the entire time. I mean, they were in goal line defense the entire game pretty much until we went in 2-minute mode and had to throw it. And then they had to cover Julio. And then all of a sudden things got a little bit more sideways. But yeah, that was a crazy game, and it's just, to your point, it's another indicator of crazy things happening down in that stadium, and it's happened time and time again over the last 15 years.
So when you look at this team and their trek down to Auburn, what are you the most comfortable with that they do, and what's your biggest concern?
That Bama does, or
Bama?
Well, I mean, look, I think that no matter what Ty Simpson has looked like over the last couple of weeks, I'm always going to feel comfortable with him as a leader in crunch time. We've got so used to like a robotic football team, and for good reason. I mean, Nick Saban's teams were very robotic. That's just not what Kalen DeBoer is. They're very player-led. We've talked about it. So I feel good about him being able to rise up to the occasion. We've seen him do that more times than not.
Right.
And obviously that fell flat against Oklahoma, but that's a really good Oklahoma defense.
It is, and I thought, besides the turnovers, I thought they still played a good. They played a good game. They made mistakes and they lost, but it wasn't like the Florida State game where you're watching guys 100%. Want to be out there. I don't have as much. I mean, it's just you play a tough schedule, you're going to lose some games.
100%.
That's how I feel about it.
I feel good about Ty Simpson. I feel good about our wide receiver core. I mean, I don't know that it goes noticed by Bama fans that we have a top, let's call it a top 5 wide receiver core in America, if not better than that. I mean, we're up there, dude. Like, it's a top 3 wide receiver core when you look top to bottom and all the talent we have. So I feel good about that. I don't know how to feel about the run game. I know that Auburn has had a lot of success, stopping the run this year. You saw Georgia struggle. You saw a number of teams struggle, and that's really always been kind of where things are built. I mean, go back to my time and look at guys like Nick Fairley and send Derek Marks and some of the defensive tackles they've had all the year. They're just Derek Brown, recent. I mean, I talk about him all the time because the Panthers play the Falcons. They've always had those guys down there. And so, it's going to be tough on the ground, and we have to sustain blocks, passing game and the run game. But look, I feel, a lot has been made about Deuce Knight, and, for good reason. I don't know what that looks like in this game. I don't know if he's second string quarterback or whatever it is. But I feel good about our defense. That's the crazy thing about this season is, even if you lost, the record looks the same. It's in the same ballpark. But how much better do you feel about Kane Womack in the defense as compared to where it was a year ago? I mean, they just have been downright unbelievable compared to where it was a year ago, man. So it gives me a sick feeling because everything tells me Bama is successful in this game. And yet we've seen time and time again, good Bama teams go down and struggle and or lose down there. So it's never easy.
Yeah. Look, I like the fact that they're starting to get healthy on defense.
Yeah, for
Tim
sure.
Keenan being there, he's been great. Yanze Pierre. I mean, like they've been the defense. I would have never thought that this would have been a season where the defense would be the unit that leads this team.
I completely agree. And that's I started talking about it. And I played in a golf tournament yesterday, and there were some Bama fans there, and I was kind of talking through it, and they're like, weird that like it doesn't feel like last year that you went 9-3 in the regular season. Like it feels like it's a completely different team, and you feel so much better about where Kalen DeBoer is, but we're not that far off.
Yeah, right.
Either way, you weren't that far off last year from where you are this year, and vice versa. So there's just so much on the line, man. It feels like such a pinch point, like it feels like everything is kind of coming to a head, and like you win this game and you feel great about where the program's at, man.
Yeah.
You're looking at an SEC championship berth and everything else on the line, everything in front of you. If you lose this game, there'd be people calling for his job and saying that like, he's just not the guy. It's kind of crazy to think of it in those terms.
Yeah. Quay Russaw back, just crazy, right? Some guys sat out. I really think Josh Cuevas is going to play, although he's not ruled. He's doubtful for the game. The great season going. I wonder how bad his foot is, but he didn't play last game. I think, a lot of those guys, you sit them out because you can in a game against Eastern Illinois, right? Parker Brailsford, I'm guessing he's going to be back. I was really impressed with the center spot in that Eastern Illinois game when you talk about losing one of your best players in Brailsford, but they got the job done. Jeremy Bernard, probable for Saturday. When we get there, I think anybody that can play is going to want to be on the field. But we scored 8 rushing touchdowns. It's really hard to look at Eastern Illinois and really say anything other than we just had better players all over the place. But this offensive line gets a lot of the blame for the lack of running. I feel like the running backs deserve some of that too. And I hope that AK Deer plays some because I think he may be the home run hitter they're missing.
I agree with that. I think, running back's always a tricky thing to kind of scout because so many times when you look at it, you want to look at how dynamic they are running the football. And it's just not always the case. Like if he doesn't know not even necessarily blitz pickups, but if he doesn't know formations or motions in the backfield or some of those things, it makes him tough to play. I'm not saying that that's his issue or has been. I'm just saying that when you look at kind of moving guys into those roles, there's a reason some of these guys haven't played as much moving up to this point. But I have not been impressed, and you and I have talked about it. I haven't been impressed with Jam Miller. I don't think his suddenness in the run game is enough. I don't think he brings that dynamic change of direction that we've had so many times at the running back spot. And I think that he's probably – it's interesting to say that because I think he's the best at actually reading the blocks and setting blocks up and putting his head outside to set up the offensive line for a kick out block and then ducking underneath it. But he doesn't always have the suddenness and the change of direction to get there. You know what I mean? And so it just feels like I don't know that we have one complete back. We have situational running backs that this guy here, that guy there, and on kind of down the list. And so, we'll see what happens at that spot. But I do think that this is a team and in a game where you should be able to set up at least some success in the running game. This might be one of those things where you get to the end of the year and you pull it out all the stops and you look at Ty Simpson and you're like, dude, you're going to have to run the ball a little bit. You know what I mean? We're going to have to run some of these zone read concepts, the quarterback counters, the keepers and things like that. And maybe he gets a few more totes with the whole season on the line.
Yeah, right. I mean, now's the time, right?
Yep.
Hey, you were mentioning Daniel Moore. The new one's the crispy screen, talking about maybe this guy could help us run.
In some places, football is a sport. In Alabama, it's a fine art. New Life Art is now accepting pre-orders for Daniel A. Moore's next Crimson Classic, the Crispy Screen, guys. What a name to commemorate the Fat Boys. This masterwork commemorates the screen pass to Caden Proctor that outsmarted Kirby and the Georgia defense. Proctor's catch and bulldog dozing run set up Ty Simpson's 3-yard touchdown just before the half, which was a big score for us, guys. Visit DanielMooreArt.com to see the artist's preliminary sketch and take advantage of a special pre-publication pricing for the crispy screen. Go ahead, get into that. Go get you one of those Caden Proctor prints. I'm super excited to get mine in because he's living a dream of all the Fat Boys. And go look up that crispy screen and get you one, guys.
And they ran it again against Eastern Illinois. I think I've told you this. I don't know if I did, though. If I did, it's still funny enough to tell again. But I asked Shank if he would have liked to have caught a pass like that. And he said he would have gotten in the end zone. So I told Coker, I was like, hey, Shank's wondering why you didn't do something like that with him. And Coker's like, yeah, just add him to the list of another guy that says I didn't get him the ball enough. The life of a quarterback.
Man. Hey, man. You know what, though? A lot of perks come with that quarterback life. So Jake Coker can he can suck it, man.
You would have liked one.
There's a lot of good things that come with that quarterback life. That's all you have to deal with is look, man, if I had don't even get me started. If I had to have a list of quarterbacks that blame the offensive line every time they stood back there for 8 seconds and got sacked, then we'd have that list going as well. So I don't want to hear Coker.
You caught a touchdown in the NFL,
dude. No joke. I caught a touchdown against New Orleans. The Falcons played in New Orleans a couple days ago, and David Sills, who's like a 5th or 6th year wide receiver out of West Virginia, caught his first touchdown pass of his NFL career in the exact same spot that I caught mine. And as he did it, I go, oh, that's his first. I'm watching it on the TV and listening to our radio broadcast. And I'm going, hey, don't give the ball to the referee, man. Don't give the ball to the referee. Don't give the ball to the referee. And he walked over there, handed the ball to the referee, and he walked off. And I was like, dude, that was a mistake I made all those years ago. I had to search for the ball. I had to ask a million people. And sure enough, he got interviewed afterwards, and he was like, yeah, we had to search for the ball. We finally found the ball, though, so I get to take it home. I was like, yeah, dude, I'm sitting there at the TV trying to warn this guy. Don't throw the ball at the referee,
dude. Tuck and run. Tuck and run,
man.
So as we, kind of look at this matchup against Auburn, I mean, do you think that they're going to come up with more trick plays? I mean, I'm sure they will, right? I mean, we're like the king of the trick play now. We used to never do them. Now we do them all the time, right?
It used to be a complete flip, right? Auburn was always the ones that ran the sweeps and the end arounds and the reverses and the reverse passes and all, everything else you can possibly imagine. And now it does feel like us. I'm curious if that, how that package can get expanded, because I'm sure it's all in there. And you and I have talked about this throughout the year. It's like before you threw the crispy screen, you had a motion with Caden Proctor and they call timeout. So you just know that there's all kinds of stuff they're dialing up.
Yeah.
And truth be told, we always kept one in the bag as well. We always had a trick play ready to rock. You saw flea flickers from, John Parker Wilson to Mike McCoy a couple of times. You would see actually Greg McElroy threw a flea flicker to Julio one time. I think it was against Arkansas.
Yeah.
We had overload run plays. Mark Ingram scored, I believe, on a touchdown on an overload against Ole Miss one year. So they just didn't look as cool as they do now. We had gadget plays that kind of fit within what we were trying to do on a down in and down out basis. They just outright just completely rewrite the script now under Kalen DeBoer. So I'm sure there's something up their sleeve, and there should be, man. A game like this, and I don't know how much you've been on Kalshi or whatever else and paid attention to some of the spreads, but the spread is gotten me a little bit antsy, if I'm being real here, about the projected totals and what all it's supposed to look like.
Yeah, honestly, it makes me feel good because when it seems like when everybody's kind of looking at it going, like it feels like they're saying take Auburn to me, because the spread's so low. I just think this is going to be one of those years where we have a great game down there. We're due one of those. We've won games, but we haven't had a great game. We're better than them. There's a reason why they've lost all these games.
Yeah.
And we're going to, they'll play Deuce Knight, get ready to try to tackle him. Can't let him get out of the box, but I think we're going to be okay, man. I think we're the better team,
Yeah, I think you're right. The spread, though, I mean, like when you compare it, I mean, let me just ask you this: like LSU's playing at Oklahoma on Saturday. You would think that spread would be closer than ours, but yet that's like a 12-point spread. LSU at Oklahoma in Oklahoma's favor, and then when you look at Alabama against Auburn, on the surface you would go, "Oh man, that's got to be a little bit bigger," and yet it's half that. So. And Vegas always knows. You and I both know this. We talk about it all the time. But you're right though. Bama usually bucks the trend whenever you think it's going to be tight, or whenever the other team's favored. Bama has over the last couple of years kind of sent it the other direction. So
when everybody thinks you're going to win, it's rat poison. When everybody thinks you're going to lose, and I think everybody thinks a lot of people think Auburn's going to win. And Bama's going to lose, and they're going to blow.
And is it not simply based on location too? Because everybody knows how Jordan-Hare is at night, and how these games have been kind of crazy. And look, man, crazy things do happen in all rivalry games. I mean, Michigan and Ohio State look no further than that one, or the Egg Bowl. I mean, there's crazy things that happen in the Egg Bowl every year. That's another one where I think people are looking at going, Mississippi State's not good, and Ole Miss is really good, but you just never know what's going to happen in that game. Yeah. So we'll see how it all pans out, but. Hopefully you and I are sitting here talking on Monday and planning on a trip to Atlanta, for the Tide. So see what happens.
Yep. Pretty excited about it. And again, appreciate the gang at Pearl River Resort for being a part of what we do here and hanging out with us. All right. I've got to ask you, let's stay on Bama before we talk Lane Kiffin destinations. Cause that's something you got to talk about every show right now. But, where do you feel like Bama has the biggest advantage in this game?
Well, it's got, like I said earlier, it's got to be our wide receivers. I think we should be able to throw the ball, and that's one of the reasons that I haven't really been. I said before we played Oklahoma, I was like, we can't really run the ball well, but I don't know that it really is going to matter in the end. I mean, not that that's going to take you all the way to a national title, but a lot of times when you have Ty Simpson in our wide receiver core, you're going to feel pretty good. Like, especially when you have Cuevas healthy and some of the other players that have stepped up throughout the year. So I do think if you can simply protect for Ty Simpson, that you ought to be able to win a lot of these matchups against their secondary. And the defense does have quality players. I think you saw that numerous times this year, the way they matched up against teams like Georgia and are able to kind of hold them down offensively. But I think we're really special in the passing game, and it's not a numbers thing, but it's a personnel thing.
Right,
you watch these guys, and dude, I mean, when Ryan Williams is willing to play with toughness and climb the ladder in traffic, and Jeremy Bernard is doing his thing, not only catching some of the balls on the run downfield, but even in the backfield and breaking tackles and having screens, and then Brooks and some of these other pieces that you do have. I mean, they're just special to watch, man. And I think it's only going to get better under Kalen DeBoer. I think he's got that ability. You saw the wide receiver core he had with the 3 draft picks, I believe, out there in Washington just a couple of years ago with Michael Penix. So that's the one thing that I look at and I go, okay, there's no way that if we can hold up in the protection, there's no way that they can cover the depth we have out wide. And, look, maybe it's one of those things that we've seen this year where you use the wide receiver screen game as an extension of the run game, and you kind of get your yards that way out wide and cause them to kind of loosen the box a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. It's always, it's always big for us just because Alabama seems to always be in the mix, and I don't know. The crazy thing is like that this is like the 7th coaching matchup that we've had in the last 7 games.
Oh, I know.
It's like nuts. And you look at it, you're like, how did that happen? Well, they keep firing their coaches, And then Saban had COVID the one time, so Sarkisian was head coach.
Well, and I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but the Sark win was the first one of the streak because Bama's won 5 in a row, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Because last year I believe it was a fear the thumb thing going on that just felt really good.
It was great
because I was there during the Auburn, the Tuberville thing, and so maybe now you're fearing the other hand, and hopefully you can get that done. But yeah, I mean it's been a crazy streak. It's crazy to think because I was at the 2019 game last time Bama lost, and you want to talk about a house of horrors night. I mean, that we kicked the field goal at the end that goes off the upright. I've never heard a stadium that silent in my life. I'm standing under the upright, Mick.
Yeah.
And that ball, when it was in the air, I mean, the entire stadium is dead quiet. And then, boom, you can hear that ring of that ball hitting that upright and bouncing off. And the stadium just freaking erupts.
Yeah, I know.
And I was like, all right, I'm out of here. I walked out of the tunnel in that instant. I was like, I'm out. I'm not watching any more of this. That was the whole if you remember, that was like the field goal right before halftime when there was a stoppage of the clock. I can't even remember all the details, but there was a stoppage on the clock, and they were able to run out their field goal team with 1 second left and snap the ball as the clock was wound up. And that was a crazy game, and it just goes back, to everything we've talked about that place and how crazy it can be. So it's crazy to me that was the last time Auburn won, and it felt so fluky in that moment. That was
right.
That was Mac Jones starting for Tua. Remember, and he has the pick 6 on the goal line.
Yep.
Just absolutely insane that day. So
threw the ball off the guy's back. I hated it.
I was standing right there for that one too. I was standing there for, I believe, a Waddle touchdown, or maybe a Devontae Smith, right there in the corner of the end zone as well. That was a game that Mac Jones played so well, but we just could not seem to get out of our own way.
Yeah, I hope that's not the case, man. They got to start fast and put pressure on Auburn to have to come from behind, but it's going to be a 60-minute battle. I mean,
I agree, and I think a lot of it comes down to making sure that these fans are sitting on their hands a little bit. That was, I mean, God, you remember the 2009 game? It was so tough for us because we started so slow.
Yeah,
and they were up by 14 or whatever it was before we even blinked.
Yeah, I remember.
When the sun starts going down, the crowd's real lathered up. They're losing their minds because we were the number 1 team in the country at the time, and I couldn't fathom the thought of them beating us before we went to the SEC title game, but that's where we were, and they cannot let that happen this year.
Hey, Avenue D, hit that QR code, Mick Nation hats, which I guess I can bring you some stuff, Mike, because you'll be there Friday. Come by and see us at the Floor Bama on Friday. We may have some swag for you guys as well, or win some right there, Avenue D. We pick games. It's all free, and it's easy to do. Just hit that and be a part of what we're doing here. All right, let's talk a little Kalshi. And I love Kalshi because we can, it's not just football. It's an exchange market. And the best part about it is it's legal in all 50 states. You get better odds, no house vig. Prices are set by supply and demand. Winners don't get cut off. The whole thing. Not blocked mid-game. You cash out early anytime. Odds. Watch those move over time. But you can do politics, economy, Oscars, Grammys, pop culture. Will the turkey be pardoned today by the president? I mean, all that stuff is on Kalshi. But we like it because, as we've watched here for weeks, the Lane Kiffin drama continues. And some people, like your dog, would like to see Lane Kiffin be the next coach at Alabama. He's supposedly going to decide something. When is it supposed to be?
Saturday.
Saturday.
He's supposed to let us
Prime
know.
time. He's going to tell us where he's going. So my question to you is, first off, where do you think he's going to go? And where do you think the people think he's going to go?
I think he's going to LSU.
Okay.
Point blank. I think he's going to LSU. I think that they offer him something that nobody else can. I think they'll be the center of attention down there, and I think they've shown the ability to put up with a certain level of weirdness down there. I just think they have.
62% of the money's on that.
Is that what'd you say? How much percent?
62% of the money right now.
Yeah, dude. They put up with grass chewers and all kinds of weird. They put up with Brian Kelly longer than I thought they would. So yeah, I think that's where my money would be is on him going there. And I think that's probably a good marriage. I don't think you give a Saturday deadline of saying, hey, I'm going to announce on Saturday after the Egg Bowl just to announce that you're staying at Ole Miss. Like, I don't think that happens. So I think he's out. I think he's going to LSU, and I think it's probably going to be a real good marriage until things go south, and then he'll mouth off and he'll get fired, and then it's going to be some kind of $80 million payout that
it's going to end up in a disaster.
The governor's going to be really upset about, and then they're going to have to, go from there. So it's just not bound to be a good thing. There's just no way.
Yeah. Almost $2 million has been exchanged on the next Florida coach, and Lane Kiffin still is 38%, 39%, 38% chance right now, according to the Kalshi market, to be the coach of the Gators. This is down from, and I look at it again, but this is down from where it was like kind of exactly where it is now for LSU, like in the upper 60s. But people still feel like there's a chance that he's gonna pick the Gators. I mean, could you see that happening?
I don't know, man. I think that I could see it happening, and God knows, man, they've dealt with coaches like him down there too. I mean, Steve Spurrier was very Lane Kiffin-like in his day, the Free Shoes University things that he always used to talk about, and he was kind of Lane before Lane was, honestly, in a lot of ways. So, but I don't know, man. Florida, I'm just not sure that Florida is quite the job that it once was. I mean, it's Spurrier kind of in a lot of ways put that place on the map a couple of times, the Heisman Trophy and things like that when he won, and then went in there as a coach. And then Urban was able to kind of go there as well. But then they just feel like whoever they hire is not going to have success at Florida. They just don't really, and I might eat these words at some point, but Florida doesn't feel to me like they're built for this era for whatever reason. They just, Miami's kind of doing their thing right now with Cristobal, and Florida State has been in and out of it the last couple of years, but they're always going to have a puncher's chance. And UCF has grown immensely over the last decade. And Georgia obviously is a juggernaut right now that you got to play every year. And it's like, I just don't know that Florida's built for this era.
Yeah, I hear you. Now, the last question is about the what Trump will say during the turkey pardon ceremony. Do you have any ideas? Will he say Biden? Will he say Walmart? Will he say affordable or affordability? I guarantee he's going to say Biden, because he says Biden.
Keep going. What else is down there? I want to see.
Election, every time he talks. Election.
Oh, dude, he's going to talk about inflation or groceries for sure.
Yeah.
Well, for sure.
Egg? You think he'll say egg?
The fact that there's 100% chance that he's going to say cheaper.
Oh, it's so funny, man. Like all that stuff he says all the time. I wonder what it's going to be first, though.
Yeah. Is that what it has to be, the first?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm not. I should be the expert on this. It just says, what will Trump say during the turkey pardon ceremony? Yeah. Hey, have you seen the guy that the black comedian that does the Trump impression? I don't even know his name.
I haven't seen him.
He's so good at it, and it's so funny.
The guy who called Nick Saban Alabama Jones or whatever it was.
Yeah.
He does a good one too. Although I don't love him to death, but he does a good one too.
He was great on SNL.
Yeah. Yep.
And some funny ones.
We saw Nate Bargatze last week in State Farm Marina here in Atlanta. He was hilarious too. He was good on SNL.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I did see him on there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So anyway, you guys tell me what you think, and use our promo code Bama Tailgate. You get $10 free when you sign up and trade $100, and you can have fun and figure it out. Maybe you know the answer, but they do all kind of stuff. You know that, Mike. I mean, normally I'm on here asking about aliens. Are they going to?
I thought for sure you were going to update me on who's the next Auburn coach going to be, but you didn't even go there. What do we think about that? We're talking Iron Bowl.
Let me see here. Let me see. While I've got the Kalshi pulled up.
Yeah. I already know who it's going to be, so I'm curious if the people at Kalshi are on board
All
with
right,
it.
$41,000 have been exchanged on this. Not as much excitement over the Auburn coach as the Florida and the LSU coach because there's no Lane Kiffin in here. And they say John Summerall,
Yeah, dude.
67%. And then
lock me in on Summerall.
So you definitely think he's taking the job.
100%. That's going to happen. Matter of fact, he was supposed to do an interview at Florida like last week, and he canceled it. And I think we know why he canceled it. I think he's already got pen to paper down there at Auburn.
And they'll announce it after the game.
Yeah, and here's the thing. How does that
affect the game? How does that affect the game, though? I think it helps Alabama, right?
Does it?
Yeah.
I don't know in what way.
Because if you know as a coach that you're that you're not gonna be working there
I see what you're
next
saying.
year. I mean, you're worried about maybe finding your next job.
Yeah, but if you're the coach down there on the flip side of that, let me play devil's advocate. If you know that you're about to be fired, don't you want to put up a good resume builder against Kalen DeBoer in Alabama before you have to pack your boxes?
Yeah, that's true too. I mean, for sure. Yeah, but I just think like when you're distracted and you're not 100% focused, things fly through the cracks.
I agree. I just think and that goes back to what we said earlier, man. You have to make them question it really early. Don't let them build any momentum and actually let themselves believe that they're going to win the game.
Yep, that's it, man. Get started quick and take care of business. No doubt. Well, the holidays are here. We got all of our stuff ordered for Thanksgiving, and nobody here's cooking a turkey, so we went to the local honey baked ham and got turkey, ham, and all the fixings, right?
Yeah.
And there's so much stuff, and I got my niece and nephew hanging for the holiday that I know I'm going to have to work out, and that's why I'm glad that Bod Coach is here for me, and I hope they're here for you guys too. bod.coach/Bama, right? I'm going to need some workouts to get through all of this eating that's about to take place. And Bod Coach will get you covered there. So you guys check it out. I'm going to play the Bod Coach ad when we get off here so you can get more detail on it. But I'm telling you, it's great. Like I'll get a text. Hey, Fatty. No, it doesn't call me Fatty. Hey, you're doing what are you doing? What do you want to do? And then I'll say, and then I get a whole workout kind of based around that. So I need it right now. What about you? You got your Thanksgiving meal figured out? You going to Pensacola?
hey, Fatty. No, he doesn't call me Fatty. Absolutely.
In his AI mind.
What do you got family in town for Thanksgiving? I was gonna say you ought to slide over to the Johnson house down there over in Perdido, man. We're getting after it. We got a ton of people coming over to my parents' house, probably like 30 coming over to my parents' house.
Is Nate Dogg gonna be there?
Actually, no. First time I've missed Nate on Thanksgiving in a while. He's not going to be there. So he's actually out in Oklahoma seeing some people. But everybody else is going to be there. So we'll do it big, man.
Awesome. Well, have a great Thanksgiving. We'll see you Friday at the Floor Bama show, the Tailgate Show 1 to 3. Be there. We're going to watch games and obviously talk football and that'll be an extension. Bring all 30 people from Thanksgiving.
We're doing
Friday
it, man.
To the Floor Bama. And I'm going to stay sober the whole time. Not like the last time you and I teamed up there.
I doubt it.
Years ago. All right. Any final thoughts, my friend?
Man, look, go down there. And if you really are the team that we all think you can be and we want you to be, then go deal with business. All the other stuff, the college ball playoff committee stuff, the rankings, the SC championship, the matchups, whatever. None of that matters. Just go out there and deal with business. Put one foot in front of the other. Play up to the standard that you've built this year, and everything else take care of itself, man. Hopefully, we're talking about a dub when we get back together next week.
Yep, roll tide.
We're presented by Bod Coach, and you can tell I'm slimming up over here, and it's because of Bod Coach. This is absolutely amazing. It's your personal trainer that is with you 24/7. So when I go to hotels or when I'm on the road, I type in, "Hey, look, I got equipment. This is what I have," and it'll make a workout specifically for me, what I want, what exercises I want. When I'm at home or I'm at a hotel and there's no way I can get to the gym, it'll say, hey, this is what I want to work on today. And it sends you personalized workout plans. It's really awesome. And they contacted me a few weeks ago to be a spokesman. I said, well, I want to try this. Bod Coach is fantastic. Like, I use it all the time. I mean, and if I'm telling you, man, like, it makes working out when you are on the go like me so much better. Just because I don't always know I didn't play football at Alabama. I didn't have Scott Cochran yelling, yeah, and telling me what workouts to do. So anyway, I'm going to put in the body on the YouTube all about Bod Coach. Get you guys signed up there, but tell them you heard it.
I may not suit up on Saturdays anymore, but I'm still in the game.
Let's roll.
In here, I call the plays, make adjustments, and lay it on the line. Want to feel that fire, that rush? Then you've got to get in the game. I used to say it in the tunnel, and I still say it now. Let's roll.